All right, we are live again. I know what happened and I sincerely apologize. I did not catch it. On my screen, it had connected to Wi-Fi and it was using the hotspot on my phone. So the GoPro was streaming live and it was trying to download that game update. So as soon as I parked it, or maybe even before that, it suddenly started connecting, and that's a big problem with a hotspot with a Tesla. Is if you have your screen connect to it, you're gonna have big problems. So let me just share this link here real quick and then we'll go ahead and get started. So my daughter has been watching in the background. I'm so thankful for that because she has clued me in on what's been going on. She said the quality's been really bad, really poor. So hopefully this will improve now that my car's not connected anymore. So let me just reshare the link. New stream for nag test with latest update. And paste. Post. Okay, there it went up on YouTube. I just shared on YouTube the link. You guys are probably seeing that I'm live anyway. I'm gonna go ahead and share this on X. New link with live stream testing. Of latest update. Watch me get a strike. Paste. Okay, there we go. So it's now up on X. Go over to Patreon. And we'll go ahead and edit that. Bear with me, guys. We're going to get started here in just a second. If you're joining and you haven't been on the other ones, that I apologize. There's a lot of mess that happened, but we are back and I figured out the issue. So new stream. It was connecting to my Wi-Fi on my phone. The Wi-Fi in the car was connecting to my hotspot, so it was doubling up, and that's why the connection broke off. Okay, new stream. Here we go out onto Patreon. And I did find out, by the way, how to see your comments. So it's funny because you have to actually launch it through the GoPro app. So I'm going into the GoPro app, view your stream. Yes, okay, it's good. I can see it nice and clear. Hopefully everybody can hear me. I don't have too many people, but I'm not expecting a big crowd. We've got 9 people. I see some hearts and laughing symbols coming in. Thank you, everybody. All right, I don't see any chat messages, so I think it's a delay between now and... but I see a lot of you guys have rejoined, so watch me now get a strike. My daughter was watching and she threw a couple comments in, and she said that she was mentioning that people were saying they want to see me abuse the camera by looking away. So I think it's obvious that if you seriously misuse the camera and put your thumb on top, covering it up, then it's gonna obviously like really stop. You're not going to be able to use it. That's just like horrible, right? Now the jury is out. Does that give you a strike? I don't know, but we're going to find out. Well, I'll have to find out. Again, it depends on how adventurous I want to be here with this. You guys got to let me know. But I'm going to keep an eye on the chat as best I can. It says, please try the 360 view. I don't have a 360 view, sorry. Maybe in the future. So I'm adjusting the camera here so you guys can see maybe a little bit better. Okay, we're ready. So let's see how this goes. All right, I'm kind of nervous, to be honest with you. I'm a little bit anxious about getting a strike because I hate getting strikes. I had 3 strikes back on version 10.11.2. This was with full self-driving. I had 3 strikes, and I was down to the wire with 2 left, and they actually I had 2 strikes to start, and then the next 2 were like instantly, like they happened so quickly, and I panicked. I was like, oh no. And I was down to 1 strike for a really long time. So this, I hate not having any lives left. It's the same as like when you're playing Mario Brothers and you're down to like 5 lives left, and it's like, no, you can't die. But at least it's a week timeout, so I think I'm gonna have some fun with this tonight, guys. I'm gonna try both things. So hopefully it's coming in strong. Hopefully it's not choppy audio anymore. Again, sorry for all that stuff. It must have been a horrible experience trying to get through that. So I'm gonna dial in the second destination here. So we have somewhere to go. Okay. And we're ready to test this. All right, guys. I'm gonna look away from the screen and get distracted, and I'm just gonna ignore the messages. I'm gonna say, please pay attention to the road. I think what I'll do is I'll do a really quick test with the look away for 7 seconds. I'll look away for 9 seconds. Let's say 8. 8 is like the threshold, right? Where you can look away. So I'm gonna make sure I'm out of that threshold. I'm gonna look away for 9 seconds, and I should get that message. And then once I get the message, I'll be like, okay, and I'll pay attention, and then I'll do it again. And it should happen after 3. If you do that for 3 times, it should then give you a strike. Okay, let's see what happens. The light is blinding the interior camera, but turning that off and turning on interior lights. Ooh, that's a great idea. Yeah, the light is blinding. I see Mark Leffler mentioned that. The light is blinding the camera, and that's probably why I'm getting those messages. So I appreciate that. Let me know how this view looks for you guys. Actually, I can view it in my lap here as I'm driving. Oh, here. Able to in this lane to get on the highway. Last time it wouldn't get over, so it tried almost, but now it's a solid white line, so it wasn't going to get over. So again, I am testing only autopilot right now. This is the auto steer to see how this recall has affected it. I was out driving around from 6 o'clock until 6:30 testing this out, and it did not use the camera at all. I could put my hand over it and it wouldn't give me any messages whatsoever. This honestly looks better too, in my opinion. That's great. Oh, I love this feedback. I love this. Okay. Yeah, that's right. So Mark is saying it's safer as well when I'm not holding that light in my left hand. Very, very true. Autopilot. Sean Corelli is asking, our autopilot. Okay, I have to pay attention now. Our autopilot and FSD strikes the same? I believe so. So they were before. So if you had full self-driving and you were using autopilot and you didn't touch the steering wheel for a long period of time, you would actually get a strike. And that counted as a FSD strike. But yeah, that's a great question. I don't know if, I'm assuming they are the same. I'm just gonna make that assumption. So I'm driving in autopilot. We're gonna find out here. I have 3 strikes right now. So when I get this next one, it's gonna say I have 2 strikes. So here we go, guys. Let's turn it on. Okay, speeding up. Okay, entering the highway. Now, no looking at my phone now, that's for sure. All right, so we're just gonna stay in this lane here and get off on the exit. So straight, easy going. I don't have to worry about traffic, except for this guy getting in front of me, but that's not a big deal. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna look away. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000, 6, 1,000, 7, 1,000, 8, 1,000, 9, 1,000, 10, 1,000, 11, 1,000, 12, 1,000, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Wow. Please pay attention to the road. So 23 seconds. So I can see out of the corner of my eye. So it's not like I'm, you know, covering up my eyes. But there was the message. So now let's do it again. You guys, I'm getting close to getting a strike now. Okay, looking away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm staring right at the screen. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, I had to pay attention there for a split second. 17, 18, wow, 19. So they've increased the limit here. 20, 21, 22, 23. Do not try this at home. 24, 25, 26. So I just looked up for like a split second. It's speeding up here and it's going to get off at this exit. So I am going to have to take over here. It's really going like really fast for some reason. So I'm looking straight ahead now. I'm not going to abuse this as I get off the exit. So let me just, I'm going to turn it off. It's going a little bit too fast for my comfort. And we're going to turn it back on here once we go through this light. So a lot of time when you can look away. When you're using self-driving, the threshold is around 8 seconds. 9 seconds would definitely throw that message of pay attention to the road. Now I'm really curious. Is the timing different? Is the driver monitoring system more strict when you're using full self-driving versus auto steer? It's possible that there's a difference with that. I'm very curious now, because 22 seconds, I've never, with full self-driving, I've never been able to look away for that long. That was really interesting. So this road up here is like a 45 mile per hour road, and it is 8:17 p.m. You have to be really careful when you're doing these types of tests, because obviously, it's not a good thing to be distracted. I'm being distracted on purpose to test this, so I do have to be very careful about other cars. So I'm going to do it in the safest possible situation that I can, so that I am not going to confuse anybody around me. Okay, here we go. I'm going to turn it on. All right, I am staring at the screen. My eyes are going right here to the screen, and I'm just going to continue. Oh, pay attention to the road. Okay, right there. It was really quick. Okay, that was within like 6 seconds. That was really quick. Interesting. So the highway, I could look away for longer. But now that I'm on the city streets, it was like instantly. I mean, that was really fast. Okay, so here we go, guys. I'm gonna look away again now. So I'm applying force to the steering wheel and looking away now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm keeping an eye on the road, on the side of my eye. 8, 9, 10, 11. Wow, 12, 13. Now I'm instinctively putting force on the steering wheel. 19, 20, wow, 21, 22, 23. I glanced up for a second. 25, 30. My gosh. Let me put my hand up. That's what caused the trigger before. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Apply slight force to the steering wheel. Okay. So the traffic's pulling me through the light. I'm looking around, like, just because I'm looking at the screen doesn't mean I'm not paying attention to the traffic around me. Please let me make that very clear. I'm darting my eyes up on the road. I'm not like totally abusing the system right now. When you're looking at the screen, like I am now, with full self-driving, you would get a pay attention to the road message. I'm not seeing that with auto steer. So I'm going to go out on a limb and just say right now that the in-cabin camera is a lot less sensitive using auto steer than it is with self-driving. Apply slight turning force to steering. I'm looking away completely. I'm gonna wave my hands around, see if it picks up on that. I'm gonna put my hand out here. I'm not gonna use a phone because that is illegal in Illinois. Okay, stopping a traffic light in 400 feet. So that's the thing with autopilot. It's going to stop even when it's green. So I stepped on the accelerator to get through there, and we're still going forward. I'm staring at the screen the whole time, guys. So this is good news for auto steer or autopilot people that are going to be using this, because it's not as annoying or as strict as full self-driving. Full self-driving is really particular. Now, it was when I was turning the road, easy. There's car, so I can. I'm not. Very interesting. I'm not looking at the road again. So okay, if it's not going to complain with looking at the screen, how else can I get that message to show up? Obviously, I cannot put on the steering wheel. I can. Well, that light was mimicking. I'm just going to hold that light back up again. It seemed to think that light was a phone before. Just see if it shows up now again. I'm just going to kind of put it more obviously out here. See if it recognizes this as a phone or thinks it's some mobile device. Obviously not safe to be holding it, but I do have one hand ready, on the steering wheel, ready to take over. So again, this is don't try to. I can get in a lot of trouble for doing all this stuff. By the way, this is like not cool to be doing, but this is for science. This is for so everybody knows what the limits are here, and hopefully I'm doing this to sacrifice so that everybody else doesn't have to go through and do these stupid tests. It's very unsafe to not look at the road, guys. But I'm having a hard time getting it to say, please pay attention to the road. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to resort to covering up the camera completely. What I'm going to do while I'm at this light, because this is more safe, is I'm just going to completely look away. Okay, now my head, I am like, oh no, shoot, it just turned green. What I'm going to do is like turn my head like way to the back. And I'm okay doing that when I'm at a traffic light. Okay, I'm looking at the screen here again. Gosh, get it to trigger. Move my head forward and position my head down. My eyes are looking at the road. Pay attention to the road. Okay, interesting. It did not like that. Okay, so good. So I'm trying to get the message to come up as much as I can here. Great. So I'm just gonna turn my head all the way to the back. Okay, so audio is gonna be really clear because I'm like, my mouth is like literally right next to the GoPro, and I am not looking at the road at all. I'm turning my head all the way back, and it's not giving the message at all. Maybe because we're not driving, but I am, my head is like turned all the way back right now. And no message. Wow. Okay, it's turned green. Okay, so now the steering wheel is asking for that. I'm going to do that test. So I'm getting to that one. So the nag is going to get a strike if you don't pay attention to the nag. So the way I got that pay attention to the road was I leaned forward. And this is interesting because I can look at the road, but my head is not easier for the to see. I'm like looking, there it is. Proven, tested right there. Do not do that. And obviously don't ever use a mobile phone. Number one. Number two, Don't lean forward and stare at the screen. It's a little bit in a gray area if you can like sit back and look at the screen, because I was doing that a lot and it wasn't having any problems with it. Okay, so I'm gonna do this again here. This is for science, guys. Please forgive me, Tesla. Sorry, I'm gonna get a strike. Watch me strike out. Okay, there it is. Oh, that should have given me a strike. Usually it's three, pay attention to the roads and you get a strike. Okay, I'm gonna do it again. Really doesn't like when I do this. Pay attention to the road. Okay, there we go. That's like the fourth one. What happens if I go into the menus? Okay. This at home, guys. I'm trying to test this. I'm gonna get rid of the destination here so it doesn't slow down. And it's gonna go through this intersection. So I'm looking at the road, but my head is facing the screen. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Again, I got to work on the audio. Okay, there we go. The fifth strike. Auto steer is unavailable for the rest of this drive. Hold the steering wheel to drive manually. Okay, there it was. Okay, so I just got a strike. That should have been a strike. Let's pull over and let's see if I get a message for that. There was a strike. And the stream is only going to last for another 10 minutes or so because my phone battery is like dying. I think when my car connected to it, it just sucked all the data, and that I'm sure really drained the battery, but I don't have much battery left. I've been out filming for about an hour and a half. 2.5 hours actually. It's been a while. So I'm gonna get back on the road. It didn't give me any message there. Actually, I haven't put it in park. This is what I have to do, okay? Let me put it in park. Okay, there we go. Look at the message here. It says, telemetry from your vehicle indicates improper use of auto steer and full self-driving. Keep your hands on the wheel and remain attentive at all times. Auto steer and full self-driving will no longer operate if autopilot disables 4 additional times. Okay, so this update gave me 5 strikes back. Interesting. So prior to this update, I had it would have said with this strike, it would have said I have 2 left, but now it says I have 4 left. Yay! I have more lives. So I am okay now. I don't have much battery left, but I am okay to test this with covering it up because I have more lives. So I'm gonna cover up the camera with my finger and get the second strike here. All right, so I'm looking at the messages here. I can catch up with you guys. Looks like we've got 18 people here watching. Great experiments. Thanks for doing this. You're welcome. You should try the high fidelity park assist. Yes, Billy, thank you for mentioning that. I cannot do the high fidelity park assist because I do not have the vision only car. My Model 3 has the ultrasonic sensors, so I cannot test that, unfortunately. Can we just see FSD, please? FSD is going to operate the same. It's going to be, they didn't mention any bug fixes, so this is, you know, helpful for people that are new to this strike system. That's the reason I'm doing this. Thanks for sacrificing the other car's safety in danger for our totally scientific experiment. Yes, okay. Oopsie, I messed up the sentence, however. Sakura says, yay, Tony, man, you must be in Florida. I'm not in Florida. Yeah, there's no snow here. It's actually surprisingly warm. It's 48 degrees. It's really warm for Illinois right now. Okay, someone's challenging me here. Mark, thank you for that challenge on the with the parking. Why not? Let's test it. There's a parking lot right back here. Let's just do a really quick test with it. Okay. Actually, nobody around. Let me just back up a little bit more here. I see some parking spots on the left here. You can see these parking spots, right? I don't know if it's going to pick up on them because I'm kind of on, they're off a road. It's kind of a weird area. Okay, so it's wanting me to say okay to that prompt here. Let me come into here. This looks like an apartment complex. I'll just try the parking, but I'm pretty certain that I can't do this. Okay, so here's some cars. And we'll go forward. Looking for the park assist. Oh, there it is. Shift to reverse. Yeah, this all is the same, guys. Yeah, this is nothing different with the parking. Yeah, the park assist only affects the vision only. All right, I'm just gonna cancel out of that. Okay, with not much battery left, I'm gonna go out and do well, since I only have 19 people watching here, what I'm gonna do is transition over to the full self-driving. I think everybody gets the point here with the auto steer. Put it in park. Full self-driving. All right, I'm gonna go until our battery dies, which is not that far away on the GoPro and my hotspot here. You may arrive near closing time. Okay, that's fine. Okay, here we go. I'm heading over to the Starbucks. It's just down the road. Okay, so self-driving is enabled. Let's see if there are any changes. I don't expect any changes. This is why I didn't test this. It's gonna be, the same as before. Okay, self-driving is turned on. That is new. Pay attention to the road comes up immediately. So I think it's gonna probably do that every single time. And coming out on the road, let me turn on the lights here again. So I'm paying attention. I don't expect that there's any differences with the camera and how the algorithm works. Now that I have this latest version, I honestly don't think it's going to be any different than before. But that was new, seeing that message, and that it's more prominent. It used to show up on the bottom left. Now it's showing up on the bottom top, and it's taking up more real estate. So that's interesting. And going through that light here just fine. Okay, so this is nice. My hands automatically go on the wheel to avoid the nag. I'm gonna put my head forward and do what I did before on the auto steer and just look at the screen here. I'm gonna force a pay attention to the roads message. There we go. I'm gonna be a little bit lackluster in my attempts here to pay attention. So possible we'll see something else here. So it should be getting over. Okay, here we go. And right, turn on red. It's gonna do this all by itself. Now turning yellow, going through it. Okay, good. And then Should be getting over here to the Starbucks, and it is. And coming in all the way. Great, no issues. So I think it's the same. Let me just, while I'm in this area, let me just come over here and see what you guys have to say before I get back out on the roads. And like I said, I probably don't have much before my battery dies. I believe Park Assist only shows when manually parking and objects in front and behind the car. Auto Park is different. Park Assist shows a 3D-like cartoon image while moving. I noticed that too, Mark. I saw that on X. Someone was showing that. I believe Park Assist only shows when manually parking and objects in front of and behind the car. Auto Park. Okay. Well, since I'm here, might as well test that. So I'm going to park here next to this car. Let's see if the visualizations are different. No, I'm not seeing any differences on the visualizations. Backing up, that might be new with the lines. Not sure on that. That seems to be different. Okay, there's a car coming. All right, Martin, I see, is asking how bad is this new version? Well, I will tell you that in my experience, full self-driving is more strict with the camera than auto steer, and that was just due to some tests. I'm gonna finish this off by taking it. Let me dial in the next destination here. Hold on a second, guys. Bear with me here. I'm just going to put in this destination so I can head back. I'm just trying to find a good place to go. Bear with me here. Sorry, guys. Victoria Park. We'll just pick that location there. Okay. So we'll get out of here and we'll turn it back on. And what I'm going to do is the same test that I did on auto steer, but what I'm going to do is look away. And I'm going to see if I can get that pay attention to the road, because on auto steer, it was not giving me that message for looking at the screen unless I got up really, really close to the screen. So it seemed to be less stringent on me driving. So here it looks like I probably should have gone back the other way. Go right here. Go down Hassel Road, force it down this path here. What I'm doing is I'm forcing it to reroute here. Okay, there we go. I'll turn it on from here. Turn the lights back on. Please pay attention to the road. So that's new. It's going to come up immediately. It's going to prompt you and tell you to pay attention. Even if you are already paying attention, just be aware of that. That's going to be a nuisance for everybody now. And it makes that noise right away. So I thought initially, now that I've tested it enough, I can tell you that That's going to come up regardless of whether you're paying attention or not. Previously, what would happen is if you were looking away and you enabled it, it would give you that message, pay attention to the road, but it seems to be kind of like preemptively telling you to pay attention. So that's new. Now, while I'm driving down this road, it's easy going. There's like one person behind me and they're actually pushing me, which is ridiculous. But I'm gonna look at the screen now. So I'm obviously out of the side of my eyes, I can look at the road. One, I'm gonna count 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so yes, the self-driving is more sensitive with the in-cabin camera compared to auto steer. With auto steer, I was able to look away for an indefinite period of time, which was quite surprising to me, without it complaining. It was unless my head straight forward, I was able to drive for quite a bit with looking at the screen. So lucky for you guys. I think Tesla did that on purpose because they would get a lot of complaints if they brought the self-driving DMS algorithm to auto steer. I think people would be a little bit disappointed with that. So I mean, yeah, the rest of this, I was going to cover up the camera. I know that would give me a strike. I don't know if it's worth it. I think what I'm going to try to do here, I'm going to disable here real quick. There were a lot of cars there. I'm going to see if I can parallel park. It'd be really nice if I could parallel park. I see a spot over there to parallel park, so I'm going to try that. I think that'd be interesting. There is a spot. I found one. Okay, I'm gonna do something. Oh crap, someone's right behind me. Yeah, I'm gonna do something really crazy here. Get a ticket for this. Okay, this is the spot. Let's just see what happens. Hopefully there's enough room. Come on. Okay, so the camera needs to detect these cars and allow me to do the auto park. And someone was mentioning the auto, like parking is different from auto park. Not quite sure exactly what they were mentioning. It's oftentimes hard to get the P symbol to show up, but it's not allowing me to auto park. But if I were to do it manually, let's just see. Yeah, I don't see any difference on the visualizations with that. Maybe with the tire marks in the back. But otherwise it looks similar to what it did before. All right. I think that summarizes it for both auto steer and full self-driving. Full self-driving, no change, except when you first enable it, you're gonna get a message saying pay attention to the road. And all other rules are gonna apply the same as they did before. There's no differences. The differences only come in with the autopilot or the auto steer. And that was the first and main thing that I tested. So let's come on through here. Now I'm gonna do this last and final test before I close out the stream. I'm driving straight and I'm paying attention. My eyes are completely on the road. I'm gonna do this for enough time here. Nobody behind me. I'm focusing very intently on the road, 100% paying attention right now, and I'm gonna enable full self-driving, okay? When I enable full self-driving, I'm 99% sure, based on my 1-2 hours of testing right now, that it's going to say, and this is new, it's going to say, please pay attention to the road. Whereas previously that only happened when you were distracted and you turned it on. But now it's doing it every single time. Here we go. I'm gonna turn it on. Interesting. It did not give me the message. So it must be a little bit more strict with the timing and how you're behaving before you turn it on. Interesting. So not every time. So that's one thing. It's so easy to jump to conclusions. Here I've been testing for 2 hours and I was pretty sure it was going to show it, but it didn't show it at all. So that is interesting to know that it does not every single time tell it, but it more often than not, it will give you that message when you first turn it on. But yeah, I'm not noticing anything as far as it being a little bit more strict with the in-cabin camera compared to before. It seems to be identical, at least based on the testing I've been doing here so far. All right, I think that's going to close this out. I told my wife I'd be home at 7:30. It's 8:46. Oh, my dinner is really cold by now. Yeah. So I'm on my way home right now. I'm just going to close this out before I get there. But thanks for watching, guys. I hope you got something out of this. I hope it was useful. I'll summarize on X, throw something out on Patreon. I'll also update people on YouTube with a summary of my findings, and I will also do my best to post on TikTok and Instagram as well. I don't have as much of a following over there, but generally speaking, it operates the same as before if you're using full self-driving, with the exception of maybe a new pay attention to the road message popping up when you first enable it. It's more likely for that to happen. Okay, going forward here. But the main differences are with auto steer. So if you are an autopilot user, you do now need to look at the road more often. More specifically, don't hold the phone, don't lean forward and stare at the screen. It seems to be okay with you going through the menus and stuff and looking at it like while you're driving, sitting back, which to me is kind of surprising. But the other thing is, obviously, don't try to cover up the camera. So I'm sure for the autopilot, not sure what that was all about. For the autopilot testers or the autopilot folks that get this up, your are warm. Voice gonna do, I think, buddy. I'm really curious to see those and how they show up. It'll be interesting. But the full self-driving operates the same as before. It's just the auto steer that has the additional scrutiny, but it's not that bad. It's not, in summary, the auto steer driver monitoring system attentiveness algorithm is much less strict of driving. Well, these are all things that I think are very lucky that you don't have as strict as it is with self-driving. So with self-driving, like right now, I'm paying full attention to the road, and I'm not getting any pay attention to the road messages because of that. Go. Slight turning force. Come on, you gotta get all the way over. Thanks for watching, guys. Let you and my posts. Once I come through here, I'm gonna kill this live stream. Phone is, I've got 100% battery. Okay, nobody behind us. Gonna pull over here. And park the car. All right, we got 29 people here. I just want to point out that there is a hidden update with this where the blind spot, if you're making a right turn, someone's going to get a red barrier. I think it was Black Mom 3 posted on X. He has a visualization of that. I do too now, so I'll be posting that. It came up briefly once as I was testing. That was not mentioned in the release notes. I couldn't test the parking features completely because I have an ultrasonic sensor car. This is a 2019 Model 3. The all vision sensor suites are going to have a much more vibrant experience, I think, with parking. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that. As far as the strikes, if you're using auto steer only, it's not that bad. It's not as bad as it is with full self-driving. But if you do abuse it, you will get a strike. If you go back in this live stream, you'll see me get a strike. So I did that experiment, and with this update, if previously you had full self-driving and you had, let's say, 4 strikes left, now you will have 5 strikes. So it resets the strike count. So that's a really good thing. And what else? Yeah, don't abuse the camera. Like, don't look away. Don't look away from the camera for too long. Just be cognizant of that. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.